Good morning, traders. Chris Buss here with Traders Profit Compass with a sector spotlight on food products and retailers. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, pre-market. I wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of some off the beaten path names and charts for you to put in your watch list. If you've been to the grocery store lately, you've seen the food inflation. It's going ballistic, and that fact is helping some of these food product and retail names. So let's run through the charts very quickly. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them, but there are some interesting setups. Now keep in mind, these aren't going to, run like Facebook or anything like that, but they could add some stable growers to your portfolio if that's something that interests you. So let's take a look. ADM, Archer Daniel Midland, right here at 58.5, pressing up against resistance. I think if you get a pop here, you're going to be into the low 60s on that setup. So I would alarm 58.5 for a breakout. Bunge Corporation is in the same segment as Archer Daniel Midlands. They're food component processors. Here you see a nice consolidation between, say, 74 and 80. If you get a pop out above 80, I think you're looking at 84, 85. I would set your alarm at 80 and look for that breakout. And if you wanted to, you could also set an alarm down at 75. If you got a little $4 or $5 pullback, you could get long against the bottom of that consolidation area, give you a nicer entry point. Then you could set your stop just below, say, 73, 72.5. And that would give you a nice entry point if you could get it at the bottom of the box. So I would set an alarm towards 74, 75, and then set one at 80 as well. Here's Conagra. Little bit different setup, but in this respect. Price has been consolidating between 34 and 36.50. Pressing up against this breakout. I think on a breakout, you could see these old highs up towards 38.5. Not a huge move, but remember, the options will be priced accordingly. So, a 250 move on a $36 stock is, a decent amount of return. And if you can catch this breakout and then be long as it challenges the high, if things keep rolling, you could get a breakout above the high and be into blue sky territory. This is Dole. We had flagged this earlier as a trade idea. I hope some of you got it. If you did take this breakout here above 27, now price is running. I see the next resistance level right here at about 30.5. If you got a pop there, then I think you can run up here to 35. I would jump over to the weekly chart. I don't have that handy, but I would take a look at the weekly levels and then just play it on a weekly closing basis. Hershey, nice chart here, consolidating just below 154. I think if you get a pop above 154, you could see the low 160s. If you take a look at this consolidation area, let's call it $10 between 144 and 154. On a measured move basis, if you got that breakout into blue sky country, I think you could see 160, 164, something in that range. Certainly worth an alarm here at 153.50 or 154, depending on how how fine you want to time that entry. Lamb Weston has already broken out, but it's a nice chart. If you can get a pullback into 80 of a back test of this breakout, or a pullback into trend at 80 in that area, I think that would be a great buy. They're a supplier to all the restaurants in potato and French fry products. We've got one trader in the trading room that's been all over this one. And as restaurants and institutions reopen, of course, their demand for those type of products is going to pop. Post, here's a weekly chart. You can see that it's already popped 104. And I think if it can hold 104, it can find 112 up here. Got a pretty nice tight little entry here. Up against, just having broken out and then pulled back a little bit. I think you can be long against 104 with a stop somewhat below. Just say 103. You can fine tune your stop however you see fit. But I see $8 of upside here to challenge these old highs, and then possibly get a breakout. Here's Tyson. If you've been buying chicken or any of those type of products, prices have been really jumping. Here at 75, you can see that was a line of prior support, and now it's resistance. I would alarm 75. No need to jump the gun. Wait for it to pop 75, and if it does, I think it can find 90. Remember, breaks back in to a prior trading range, and here the trading range was between 75 and 90. A break back into the trading range would automatically make the target the far end of the prior range, so that puts it up at 90. That would be well worth an alarm right there at 75 for a weekly breakout into this range. I like that setup. This is Treehouse Foods. You can see here also challenging this prior high at 54. I think if it can pop 54, then you're into the high 50s, possibly even 60. And then you've got a prior high up here at 66. So I think that's worth an alarm there at 54. And if it can pop that, I think you've got a nice buy on that breakout. Here's Sanderson Farms, another chicken producer. This was a trade idea back about a month ago on the break above 150. Now it's trading 163, so it's made a nice move. I don't think there's anything to do with it right here other than to have it on your watch list. If you got a pullback into 150, which isn't beyond reason, I think it's a technical buy at that point. And also, if you got a breakout above 175, then you're into blue sky country, and probably going to run towards 200 at that point. Smuckers, you can see here that 121, 122 has been long-term resistance. If you pop 122 and you can hold it, then you're into blue sky country up here. And this was probably earnings or something where they popped it and then they faded it. But you have that marker there at 130. And I think if you popped 122, you can pretty much count on that. Look at the posture of the PPO here, putting in a bull cross right here at resistance. That's a real good sign that there's a little power behind this move, and hopefully, or let's say hopefully, if it pops 122, then I think you can take it long with a stop just below, and then see if you can get that move to 130. This is Cisco, the food, industrial, institutional food supplier to restaurants. You'll see there's trucks all around. Right here at the highs, challenging 82.5. As restaurants and institutions reopen, Cisco is going to get busier and busier. If it can pop 82.5, get into blue sky country, then I think this one could be off to the races. UNFI, I think what is it? United Natural Foods Company. Been in this consolidation range between 24 and 31. That's a $7 range. Got a bull cross working on PPO. You've got a rising RSI. Set your alarm here, or take a look at it today, because it is above resistance already. Let's see where it's at. It's here almost at 32. I think if it holds that level, I think it can find 38, which is the measured move target of this consolidation breakout. $7 range, breakout from 31. I think it can find 38. And lastly, let's wrap up with Kroger. When grocery prices are going up, they just, add it to the bill. They pass everything along. So if prices are going up, or costs are going up, their prices are going up, and then of course their margin will be on a higher level. So if they can pop 36 here, I think they can find at least 40, and possibly this high up at 43. Again, that must have been an earnings, pop and drop. I have no idea what might have happened there, but there is this marker here at 43, and if it, if they can pop 36, I think that would be a worthwhile trade. Okay, there are other names out there. You can look at PPC, which is Pilgrim's Pride, another chicken producer. There's a bunch of other names. These are the ones that are close to, having an actionable trade. I wouldn't go hog wild in the sector. With anything else, be diversified. But with food inflation on the rise, I think these names have some tailwinds behind them. I think you can get some, if you can get some nice breakout action, the implied volatility in these names is pretty low. They're not, fast movers. So I think you can get some inexpensively priced options. And I would go longer term on these. This isn't going to be, today for Friday kind of a move. Look for something in the summertime as, these checks go out. Inflation may rise. Food inflation is on the rise as all the input commodities, live cattle, corn, soybean, wheat are all on the rise. I think you might have a nice, 3-month duration trade if the market holds together and all those caveats. But from a technical perspective, I think, excuse me, a lot of these charts are looking productive and may turn out to be nice trades. So that's a quick look at food products and retailers. I hope you found the setups beneficial. Pick your spots. Add some of these names to your watch list. Of course, set your alarms, because after you close out the video, you're never going to remember these names. So set your alarms. Be ready. When the alarms go off, that doesn't mean an automatic buy, put it in context with what else you got going on and other names that you already might be in. Like I say, no need to go hog wild in this sector. I think one or two names would be plenty for most portfolios. So I hope you found the information helpful. This has been Chris Buss with a Sector Spotlight. Have a good day of trading and talk to you next time.